Starting from the town of Brookings, Oregon, I began my discovery of the California Coastal Trail. From the northern redwoods of Del Norte and Humboldt and the headlands of Mendocino to the central coastlands of Sonoma and San Francisco. I have just completed the section between Santa Cruz, the farmlands of Watsonville, and Monterey Bay. I am entering into a whole new dynamic of one of the most rugged mountain ranges along the California coast, the Santa Lucia Range. Welcome to Butterfly Town, the northern terminus, Pacific Grove. The monarch butterfly, they can travel up to 3,000 miles in one migration and up to 50 to 100 miles per day. The record for the longest distance in the day's flight is 265 miles. Hikers coming from Pescadero Point, there are restrooms, potable water, and cold drinks at the Pebble Beach Club. I've never seen sand so white and so caramely looking as it is here at Carmel by the Sea. I woke up this morning nestled under pine and with dry ground. In the distance, I can see the foothills, the beginning of the Santa Lucia Range. Hikers will find grocery services and a Starbucks with power outlets in 1.7 miles along the Pacific Coast Highway. During the 5 decades of the Spanish occupation of Alta California, Point Lobos received its name. Spanish sailors heard the barking of sea lions, inspiring the name Punta de los Lobos Marinos, also known as the Point of the Sea Wolves. There are various trails that go through Point Lobos that offer spectacular views. There are restroom facilities and potable water at Whalers Cove. Hikers, water up. For the next 19.3 miles, there will be no services until reaching Andrew Malera State Park in Big Sur. We're at Whalers Cove here at the Whalers Cabin from 1851 under the National Registry of Historic Places. Let's go check it out. Whalers Cove Cabin in Point Lobos was built in the 1850s. Japanese and Chinese Americans began cultivating shellfish, raising up sea snails, also known as abalone. The Carmel Whaling Company operated from 1862 to 1879. There was only 16 shore whaling stations in California with about 300 men involved. In the year of 1880, kerosene oil was introduced. Whale oil became too expensive. During the Second World War, the Southwest Pacific Conference, Point Lobos scored 62 landings. The Whalers Cove was a training ground for the 543rd Engineering Boat and Shore Regiment. These guys help with getting ships, supplies, ammo, men, cigarettes, beer, dance girls, and letters from home safely to land and sea. Point Lobos definitely made an impact on popcorn. Over 50 films were filmed here, including the very first $1 million budget 1929 film, Evangeline, starring Dolores Del Rio. Garrapada is a Spanish word that means thick. So I guess this means that we are coming into the thick of it, the gateway of Big Sur. For 24 years, the entire 160 acres of Garrapada was run as a sheep and cattle ranch by Ezequiel Sabarones. I awoke this morning with the sound of cloud mist. I could hear the waves breaking along the shoreline in the distance. I'm at Rock Creek. We only have 8.9 miles until reaching Andrew Malera State Park. Donated to the California State Parks in the year of 2000, the navigation beacon began operating from atop Point Sur in the year of 1889. The height is 361 feet in elevation. The light station has remained continuous and is in operation to this very day at all times. We're right here at the entrance to the Andrew Malera State Park. We're going to be crossing the Big Sur River, and we're going to be taking the river trail through the Andrew Malera State Park and then transferring over to the Ridge Trail where it goes into Big Sur and exits out right there where all of the businesses and parks and hiking trails and everything is at. There are multiple trails through the Andrew Malera State Park that follow along a 16-mile path of the Big Sur River. You're going to come to the Bluff Trail here. It's in about 0.4, half a mile from the Big Sur River crossing. The Bluff Trail Loop is an 8-mile hike that goes along the Pacific Ocean, linking up to the Panorama Trail, which climbs 1,437 feet in elevation to Pfeiffer Ridge, offering some of the most stunning scenery along the Big Sur coast. Well, it looks like we got water here. Just before the climb up to Pfeiffer Ridge, the Panorama Trail crosses a spring. Hikers will find water here. I got a filter. I can filter this up. It's ice cold. I'm going to go ahead and get water right here. And we're going to go up to the ridge. I think we're going to go up there and stay tonight. Going to water up here. The climb up to Pfeiffer Ridge was met with golden fields and contrast of incredible blue colors of the Pacific Ocean, packed with top ramen, Idaho and potatoes, and pepperoni. I am on the Ridge Trail, heading to the South Boundary Link-Up Trail, which goes down into the community of Big Sur, opening up to groves of redwood trees and golden fields, where the Santa Lucia mountain range shoots up from the valley and the Ventana wilderness awaits hikers. Welcome to downtown Big Sur, a place where the redwood trees go shopping with you for resupplies and dining. There are a couple of good choices for hungry hikers where you can find a hot meal and hiker supplies. This is an important stop because there will be no more services for over 40 miles. Hello. Welcome to the Big Sur Hiker Biker Camp. The big Hiker Biker Camp at Big Sur. The Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park is a great place for a 0 day. In fact, a couple of 0 days. The state park houses a newer hike and bike campground that comes with a $5 fee per site. This is a hike and bike. This whole area is all for bicyclists and hikers. And I have been to a lot of different state parks, and they usually put hiker biker camps in areas that are just really not that appealing. And this one is really, it's right by the river. They come with locks where you can lock your bicycle up to these posts. And there's like 7 spots in this big spread out area right next to the showers, the bathrooms, the water, the outlets. Everything is right here. They got secured boxes, critter boxes here. And right down, like not even a quarter mile, that's where the store is and a laundry facility where you can wash your clothes. I woke up this morning and went into town to use the free Wi-Fi at the Big Sur Public Library. At most libraries, taking off a pack is not as effective as it is at a Big Sur library, because when you're at a Big Sur library, it's a very big deal when you're carrying a pack. Take the pack off at Big Sur library, you can sit down and look at the box of Raisin Bran that you just bought at the store that's right next door here. And not only that, they have Clover milk. They have the small size, they have the large side. And guess what? I got some Folgers coffee. And I got a roll of quarters for laundry later on here at Big Sur. And of course, you got to have the Panda licorice, all right? I'm here, I'm Rebo. I'm doing the hiker thing at the Big Sur Library. And I'm trying to be up and up. I'm not trying to get in your face. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. If you think I am, then write my congressman and they'll tell you what to do, all right? So here we are at Big Sur, and I'm having breakfast, and I'm having Raisin Bran. And you can see it, Raisin Bran. Never forget your trekking poles. You ever done that? Like you're doing something, you completely forget your trekking poles. I have done that so many times. Don't forget your trekking poles. I'm not getting paid to do this, but it's free Wi-Fi if you're hiking the California Coastal Trail or the Pine Ridge Trail or whatever. It's free Wi-Fi. You can download your data. You can milk it all you want right here. Free, library. Big deal. Big Sur. Free Wi-Fi. There are no Wi-Fi services at any of the businesses in town or at the Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park. While spending a couple of 0 days at the Hiker Biker Camp, I discovered there was a road closure on the Pacific Coast Highway 1. So today is August 2nd, 2023, and the Pacific Coast Highway 1 is closed. Whether you're a pedestrian, a bicyclist, you're not going to be able to get through. For over a 2-mile stretch of the Pacific Coast Highway, there has been 500,000 cubic yards of debris deposited, completely blocking any access, whether coming from the south or the north. Paul's Slide is a section of the Pacific Coast Highway 1. Caltrans estimates that the highway will be reopened in late spring of 2024. Instead of backtracking miles of trail, I discovered the Veranda Trail that is in 6.7 miles. The alternate trail navigates 29 miles around the Pacific Coast Highway closure, traveling along the North Coast Ridge Road. The climb up the Veranda Trail is 2.5 miles with a spectacular elevation gain of 2,549 feet. Down below is the Pacific Coast Highway 1. We just started our climb up the Veranda Trail. So far the trail has been completely trimmed and clean. It's wide, it's open. Just perfect hiking. Before reaching Timber Top Camp, there's a trail turnoff that goes down to Loeffler Creek. Hikers, be aware, there will be no water for 15 miles. Good morning. Today's Thursday, August the 3rd, year 2023. Here on the Ridge Crest Road route. I had no way to anticipate what I was getting myself into on this 29-mile alternate route. I was not aware of the thermal heat that escapes out into the Pacific Ocean in elevations that are up in 3,000 feet that are above the water table. You want to make sure that you're watered up really well when you come up here to the Ridgecrest Road. The conditions up here are dry. The road is powdery. It's a sort of a chalky type of powder. To find water here is practically impossible. You're looking down at the Pacific Ocean, you're seeing all of that blue water, but yet there is none to be found up here on the Condor Trail or on the Ridge Coast Road Trail. Right before where the Ridgecrest Road ends and the Condor Trail begins is the Water Tower Road. When you come to the last stretch, you want to go up there and get your water. Right here at this gate. Just past the gate, I found a water spigot. Be sure to see if there is someone there first and ask. If there is no one there, fill up as much water as possible. The next source of water will not be until Redondo Springs. Now, when you come up here, this light might not be on. And if it's not on, there's no water. Come over to this right here, which says ICB on it. And inside, let me get it open. There's a valve, and you turn the valve on, and that'll give you water. It's ice cold. It's well water. So water up there, or make sure you got at least 5 to 6 liters of water. Make sure you're up to par with water, man. Water is important. When you get to this gate where the Ridge Coast Road turns around, right here, there's no more Ridge Coast Road. It's trail. The beauty of the Ridgecrest Road is now ended and now has become a wilderness of undisclosed and unrecognizable trail. There's no trail, no distinguishable trail. Marvelous. Make sure you bring gaiters. Whew. I kept searching for a path, but there was none to be found. We're on our way to Beat Camp. There is no sign or distinguishable trail on the map. Hikers, please be advised, in a few miles from the Ridgecrest Road is Beat Camp. I could not find any water, trail, or camp that was indicated on the map. Out in the distance, I can see an outline where a bulldozer may have laid down tracks long ago, but now it is overgrown. I have a few more miles to Redondo Springs, yet I am restless and unsure if there will be water there. This morning, when I awoke, I was unsure there would be any water ahead at Redondo Springs. It is always the green and the reed that indicate a water source. You can see the trickling of water right there. You can get close to it. The trail crosses right over this. With a little bit of work, you can have yourself probably 1 to 2 liters of water. You're not going to go wrong. I must be sure to fill up as much water as possible. Vincent Flat will be the next reliable water source, which is in 13 more miles from the location of Redondo Spring. We finally are cresting along the ridge as we're heading over to where Cone Peak Trail is out there. My goal was to stay on the Condor Trail and to reach the Cone Peak Trail that summits 5,155 feet. Well, I lost the Condor Trail back there, like about a 16th of a mile. Unfortunately, I was met with massive overgrowth. I could not recognize which direction the trail was going. Welcome to Jungle Gym. In all of the years and the thousands of miles of my hiking experiences, this is my first time where I was lost and could not get through to my destination. I was relieved to discover another trail indicated on my locus maps that navigates behind Cone Peak and exits to a road that goes to the Vincent Flat trailhead. I have finally made it out to the road. I am out of water and I'm out of strength. The heat is bearing down on me, making me more thirsty. I am looking alongside the road for any plants that might relieve my dry mouth. And to my surprise, I found a cluster of currant berries. You're going to find these growing all along the road during August. And they are delicious, sweet, tart, and packed full of water. And very, very healthy. Vitamin C. It was the longest 2.5 miles I have ever hiked. I had no water, no strength. When I arrived, I was relieved. From the Vincent Flat Campground to Kirk Creek Campground, it is 5 miles. This is the final ascent and completion of the 29 miles through the Santa Lucia mountain range. And 1 mile from the Kirk Creek campground is Mill Creek. Starting from Kirk Creek campground, it is 9 miles to hot food and a store that has a good deli and stock of hiker supplies. Welcome to Mill Creek. If you need water, there's a freshwater creek that flows out right here. It is Sunday morning. We're at the Gorda General Store. They're not open right now. It's like 7 o'clock. I think they open at 8 o'clock. Be sure to water up there at Gorda before heading out. The next services for potable water will not be for 12 miles until reaching the Ragged Point.
About 2 miles.
2 miles? Okay.
Yeah,
Went
so
up to
actually to the Sucker Creek. Yeah.
I met a hiker at the Cruikshank Trailhead who just came down from the Silver Peak Wilderness. The Cruikshank Trail is a popular hiking area along the Big Sur coast, offering spectacular views of the Santa Lucia mountain range and views of the Pacific Ocean. Ragged Point Inn, that's where we're at. Hikers can get served up a solid cup of coffee. The bakery also offers muffins, croissants, pies, and other baked goods. Next door, there is hot food at a restaurant. This is something to look forward to on the California Coastal Trail coming out of Gorda. It's about 12 miles. 12 miles from Gorda. You'll come to the Ragged Inn. Hikers, be sure to camel up plenty of water. The next reliable water source will not be for 15 miles until reaching the William Randolph Hearst Memorial Beach. Hikers coming down from Ragged Inn, when you get down here, you're going to see a pipe gate with a fence. From Ragged Point, it is 2.8 miles to the Arroyo Hondo Beach trailhead. Hikers can find tenting here in meadows under the shade of pine trees and with beach access. So pretty much this entire beach is yours. From the Arroyo Hondo Beach, it is 6.9 miles to the only elephant seal rookery in the world. The Piedras Blancas Lighthouse is loud, noisy, and full of giant sea creatures. This is Budimir Sabat, a Croatian diver who held his breath underwater for 24 minutes and 33 seconds. This is George Singley from California. He dived 5,000 feet under the Pacific Ocean wearing a pressurized suit that can withstand the equivalent of 7,377 pounds per square inch. George Singley held his breath for 2 hours. You may be surprised that the beach wasn't always filled with these giant sea creatures. The elephant seals are a fairly recent resident to the shores of Big Sur. In 1990, the first elephant seal arrived at the lighthouse. In 1991, almost 400 seals arrived to molt. In 1992, the first elephant seal pup was born. In 1993, 50 more pups were born. And in 1995, more than 600 pups were born. By 1996, the number of new pups reached nearly 1,000. Between the year of 2014, over 23,000 elephant seals arrived at the Piedras Blancas Lighthouse. I arrived in San Simeon to the market for a box of Raisin Bran, milk, and coffee. They have all the essentials for food: milk, cereal, sandwiches, coffee, everything here, beer. Hikers will find plenty of supplies here at the market for resupplying. Thank you. So when you're on the California Coastal Trail, you can stop right here and get yourself a meal. It is only 5.8 miles to the town of Cambria. Also, if hikers choose, there is public transportation here in San Simeon. Welcome to Cambria, California. Hikers on the California Coastal Trail coming into the town of Cambria will be delighted in the Santa Rosa Trail. The trail crosses the Pacific Coast Highway 1 in two different directions. Going east, the trail goes through a large meadow connecting to the Ramsey Trail, which goes to my favorite bakery and coffee shop in town. The Santa Rosa Trail going west from the Pacific Coast Highway 1 enters up into forested headlands that offer spectacular tenting and views of the ocean. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation of Through Hiking the California Coastal Trail. This is the first time I have ever hiked through the Santa Lucia mountain range. All of the different places that I have learned about that I did not know, the alternate trail, the Veranda Trail up to the Ridge Coast Road and to the Condor Trail. These are the different places that I have gone to, and I hope that it helps you if you're researching what there is available to hikers on the California Coastal Trail in the Santa Lucia mountain range. I hope you have enjoyed this. Looking forward to seeing and hearing from you. This is the California Coastal Trail. Whew.